Well, happy Friday. This is Scott Weatherford again with a little more as the summer psalm. I want to give you just something to get ready for the weekend as we're going to be talking about Psalm 37. Scholars say Psalm 36 and 37 really go together. And we're a 4th of July weekend. In fact, today is the 4th of July, and I started to do a whole thing on freedom, but I decided to talk about what God has for us. So here's what he has. Psalm 36, he says this, "An oracle within my heart concerning the transgressions of the wicked person. Dread of God has no effect on him, for with his flattering opinion of himself, he does not discover, and he hates his iniquity. The words from his mouth are malicious, deceptive. He's stopping, acting wisely, and doing good. Even on his bed, he makes malicious plans. He sets himself up on a path that does no good and rejects evil. And he does not reject evil." It's like what David is saying here, that our biggest problem is we have a heart issue. Now, there's been this big discussion about, is it man inherently good or is it man inherently evil? What is the deal? Now, there's a whole theology that talks about the depravity of man, the total depravity of man, that there's nothing good about man. But the problem is in Genesis chapter 1, God made man and woman in his image and he declared it's good. Is man good or is man evil? Well, here's the deal. The sin that dwells within us is evil. The decision to rebel and to reject God creates the evil in our hearts. So we have a heart issue, and that's when our hearts belong to God. When our hearts belong to God through a relationship with Jesus, our hearts are made right. And so what David is saying here, actually it is David who wrote this, that he's saying deal with your heart. Then he says this, when you deal with your heart, you'll find that God is faithful. God is faithful. That the Lord, your faithful love reaches to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds, your righteousness to the highest heavens, your judgment are like the deepest seas. You preserve the people and animals. How priceless your faithful love is, God. People take refuge in the shadow of your wing. Now I read that passage and instantly comes back to me an image I had. That many years ago I was in Central Asia, right outside of the city called Almaty in Kazakhstan. And we went up to a mountain, and on the mountain was a prayer tree. And on that prayer tree was ribbons and string tied to the tree and flapping in the wind. And what this was a Buddhist prayer tree that people would come and they would write prayers to their ancestors and represent it flowing on this tree and sitting on this high windy precipice. That I thought, the Lord is the one who's faithful. The Lord is the one I trust. Not in my ancestors. I don't need a prayer tree. I have a God who plants me because he's faithful. And here's the last thing I want to leave you with, and I'm going to stop and you can get ready for the weekend and enjoy the 4th, and I hope you'll share this with others. The last thing David says in 36 is to live in confidence. We can live in fear and trepidation, or we can live in confidence. When our hearts are right and our trust is firm, our confidence is assured. And I know that this will help you as you live in freedom. By the way, happy 4th of July. And I pray it's a great summertime psalm for you right now. And I know this has helped. God bless you.